It is October already. Can you believe it?
Does that mean we're doing a Halloween show?
Not yet.
No.
We are coming up. We have some really exciting, super fun Halloween themed type shows coming up in the very, very near future.
It's sinkholes. Sinkholes are scary.
Sinkholes are very scary.
It's not sinkhole.
Whole house fire insurance denials. Those are scary.
Yeah. Where'd you get that from? That was pretty random this morning.
Well, I have to tie Adam into the show somehow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, this is Tampa Home Talk, and I'm your host, Katrina Madewell. If it's your first time ever listening to the show, thanks so much for listening. The mission of our show is to help you keep and maintain great credit, live within your means, build wealth. We love to talk about a lot of stuff in and around the real estate space, and, of course, things to make your everyday life better. And that would include some fun activities in and around the Tampa market as well. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm here with my sidekicks as well. Chime in, introduce yourself. You do a better job than I do.
Barrel Engineering and Inspection.
And Adam Talley with Talley Insurance.
And we have a guest also joining us today by phone. We want to go ahead and introduce him real quick. And Pat, we have our call-in guest, right? Yes, maybe?
I think
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, hi, good morning. This must be Winston McDaniel. You're the marketing manager for Scream-A-Geddon, is that right?
That is correct.
Well, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, totally.
So, you guys have gotten quite big, right? Because this has been, let me look at my notes here. Is this a fifth year for you guys?
Yeah, this is our 5th year, and it is getting quite big. It's pretty exciting.
So, I bet you have a full plate right now being, what is it, October 3rd, 4th?
4th today.
You're probably going crazy because you guys open soon, right?
We've been open since September 13th. We were open weekends in September, but actually yesterday, as of yesterday, we are open every day until November 2nd. So, yeah, it's very busy, but it's a super exciting time. We look forward to it every single year.
So, talk a little bit about Scream-A-Geddon, right? Because we have so many people that move to the Tampa Bay area every single year, so they might not know what Scream-A-Geddon is. You could have somebody that actually went to Scream-A-Geddon last year. I know you guys are in Dade City off of St. Joe Road, and you're open until November 2nd, but what can guests actually expect this year?
This year at Scream-A-Geddon for 2019, we have 6 terrifying attractions, 5 haunted houses, and 1 zombie paintball assault.
Zombie paintball assault.
You got to shoot the zombies. That's.
Oh, really? Okay, I
that?
might do that. So
yeah, the way that we put it, it's like, you spend so much time in these haunted houses being terrorized by these monsters. It's time for you to get a little payback yourself and kind of start attacking the zombies on their turf.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I have to say, you must be the only one doing that.
Yeah, to our knowledge, we're the only ones in our direct area that are doing it, and we're the only ones doing it on like the militarized bus that we kind of put you on. And all the paintballs are glow in the dark. We've got UV lights out there, so it's like the whole thing is lit up, even though it's in the dark. And it's a little bit of a comedy mixed in with a little bit of horror to kind of like be a change of pace through all the houses, because all the houses are unrelentingly scary. And this attraction is maybe a little more fun and kind of more. I don't want to use the term family friendly, but more people can stomach it than maybe one of the haunted houses.
So we give away tickets every single year to these things, and I'm such a chicken, I never go to any of them.
We should go this year.
I would love to shoot zombies with paintballs. That'd probably be the only attraction I'd want to go to. It sounds awesome.
Do you want to see my husband start sweating? He's in the other room. Like, I should tell him we're going to go shoot
zombies.
Well,
isn't Scream-A-Geddon a touch park?
I don't know.
Scream-A-Geddon, we have 2 houses that are interactive, Blackpool Prison and Infected Ground Zero. They're interactive to the point of which you choose. Basically, when you get to right before you walk into the house, we give you a glow necklace if you want. And if you wear this glow necklace, it lets our actors know that they can touch you, grab you, and kind of pull you away from the group and kind of do what they will with you when you're inside the haunted house.
Yeah, because I remember when we talked about that last year, that creeped me out, that you guys were a touch park.
So if I go with you guys, I'll be in the middle with no glow necklace.
No, if you go with us, I'm going to have my arm around you, so they're going to think you're wearing a glow necklace.
Oh, geez. Well, Leo, we have to phrase this for a person listening that can't see you, but in transparency, I'm about as white as you, so, I don't know that would go very well. Sorry?
One of the hidden things that people don't, the people who don't wear the glow necklaces don't realize is when they're the only one not wearing it, they're the ones who end up alone because all of their friends get taken. And that's scary all on its own.
What? They get taken?
They thought of everything. This is like a Liam Neeson movie.
Why would I sign up for that? Somebody loves it. Somebody's going to be doing it, but not me. I'm a chicken.
I have plenty of friends that love the scary stuff, but my wife doesn't like it, so I'd just be shooting the zombies.
So what's new this year? If you can tell the person listening, Winston, if they went to Scream-A-Geddon last year, what can they expect different this year over last year?
Well, this year, what we did is a lot of people have asked us to expand our beer list and to include more craft beers from out the area because craft beer is such a big thing now. So we said, sure, let's do that, but let's put a little bit of a Scream-A-Geddon twist on it. So we asked one of our infamous crazy clowns to basically put down his weapons and open up a craft beer garden. So we have what's called Bonzo's Beer Garden this year, serving craft local beers from the Tampa Bay area. So in between all the houses, you can grab a beer or something and sit down and have a good time and kind of decompress after being chased through a prison,
I
for
couldn't
example,
sleep.
or the Deadwoods.
That's going to be awesome. Have you ever thought
Leo,
about...
do you do that? Do you like the scary?
I love this. I'm going to go check it out.
Okay.
Have you ever thought about talking to a brewer to get a collab going where you guys help brew a beer for Scream-A-Geddon?
Yeah, there's definitely been some talks between the creative director of the park and stuff like that with breweries around the area. We'd love to get that going sometime in the future. For now, we're basically Bonzo went and pilfered all the beer that he could and is now selling it on his behalf.
So the two interactive attractions you guys have, obviously shooting the zombies is one. What are the other one?
The other two interactive ones are
more.
Blackpool Prison.
What is it called?
Ground Zero. Blackpool Prison.
Okay, and describe that a little bit.
Yeah, Blackpool Prison is basically as a prison where they put all the worst types of criminals into, and then all of a sudden, of course, in a pure horror movie fashion, they broke out and they're kind of now running the place. And you are walking your way through the prison, and the only way to get out of the prison is through it. So you'll be going through, meeting all sorts of different characters. Hopefully, you might even be asked to remain if they like you enough. But other than that, that's kind of the prison. And then infected Ground Zero is there was an infection that kind of broke out, and the military came in trying to contain the infection. They failed. It's getting out. So you're kind of making your way through these military camps and then going through kind of a family that's been affected by it and then trying to escape. And it turns out you may or may not have the infection. If you do, they may not want you to leave there, and they will dispose of you as they see fit. That's kind of the story of that interactive attraction.
Now, you guys have really grown a lot in the 5 years you've been around, so I would love for you to talk a little bit about what makes you different than some of the other bigger attractions at the larger parks, and also how long it takes you guys to set up for these events.
Well, we work on Scream-A-Geddon, for pretty much all year round. We're open from September through the first weekend of November, but, these things, we work on it pretty much all year, whether that's the planning, marketing, or the building of everything, because we are so big now that it takes a lot of time and a lot of full-time staff to kind of keep this thing going throughout the year. But really what separates us from the other big parks and kind of like the Central Florida area is, like I said, we've already said there's a 2 interactive house, which adds a whole other layer to things. But I think what's probably even the more important thing, and this goes true with all of our houses, is that we try very, very hard not to do what's called the Congo line in the haunted house industry, where they'll just send in like 35 people in a straight line, which is inherently not as scary. It's, when there's one monster and 35 people, the odds are in your favor,
That's the only way Katrina would want to go there.
I'm hearing dun 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 scream, dun 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 jump.
So
we try to send in small groups of people so they can catch. So basically, when you walk through one of our houses, the entire house is prepped and waiting for you, not 35 different people.
Now, how long do you think it takes the average person to do the whole thing?
I always say that, if you're going from one thing to the next in like a good pace and you're not like stopping to get food or a beer or check out the merch or something like that, you are probably going to get through the whole thing in 2 to 2.5 hours, and that's with little wait. But when there's waits, it'll take you the entire time that we're open, which is why we offer our Fast Pass for the people who don't want to stand around.
So we also want to encourage you to get tickets. They're only $21.95. We're going to give away a pair today on Tampa Home Talk, but they're starting at just $21.95. You can go to Scream-A-Geddon.com, and we're going to post that on our Tampa Home Talk site. Hey, Winston, thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, you got it. It was blast.
I think we'll have you back in a couple of weeks. All right, call in now. Pat will give you the off-air number. We'll be back in just a minute.
Hi, this is Aaron Day.
Morning, welcome.
To Scream-A-Geddon. Give us a call, 888-404-1010. That's 888-404-1010. 2 free tickets to Scream-A-Geddon from Katrina Madewell and Tampa Home Talk.
Well, good morning. Welcome back. I hope I didn't voice over you, Pat, just there. You probably had me muted. Anyway, this is...
I did.
Yes, well, thank you. Good call there. Good call. This is Leo Kane with Barrel Engineering, joined with Adam Talley and Katrina Madewell. And keeping the theme of horror stories, you have a disaster real estate story for us.
You know, every show that we talk about on Tampa Home Talk, usually the premise or the idea or the theme for the show comes from something that we have seen in the field. And I actually had a listing appointment this week on Wednesday. And I went in and started talking to them, and there were so many things wrong with why the listing didn't sell. I could make another whole show on just that topic. But the topic for this particular show is 7 reasons why those instant home purchase offers are not good for you as the seller. So I thought that would tie in really nicely behind Scream-A-Geddon, right? Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because I was looking around. I was like, how can I kind of fast track and do my outline for the show? And Inman did a really great write-up on it. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to kind of piggyback off that and then talk about the experience and the thing that we saw just this week. And we see it every week. This is no exception. You know, it's interesting because these instant offers, it's designed really, people think that they're designed to benefit them as a home seller, right? The convenience, pick your closing date, you can move in whenever you want, but they're clearly designed to benefit the investor and the company behind the, you know, the one making the offer. And the disclosure they have you sign says right on there, we are intending to make a profit on your home. I mean, it's as plain as day in their outlines. Then that basically the sellers, they're really positioned to get low offers, and they pay a ton of fees. And these fees are actually above what you would pay even a traditional real estate agent like me. Right?
I don't know. You
I don't
tell
know what the
us.
fees are.
Yeah.
So you don't know, you know, or no?
I don't know what their fees are. I don't use them.
Yeah, I don't know what the fee. I know, like general real estate, it's 3% for.
I know what your fees
your
are.
representative.
So let me share a couple things that Inman had in their article, because they shared a couple of stories about people that actually took the OfferPad offers, or you know, were going down that road. And I think a lot of people can relate to this. So I'm going to share a story of a couple people, and then I'm going to actually talk about the 7 things that you should know about why it's not a good offer for the seller. So a lot of times, especially in our market here in Florida, you know, it's a little bit overwhelming because someone comes in, their parents maybe have passed away, and they have to sell the home, and they've literally accumulated years worth of stuff. There's a ton of deferred maintenance. Leo, you guys have fun with those homes, you know, and all they can think of is, I'm out of state. How am I going to do this? This is going to be hard. I have to go back to work. You know, so these instant offers, they look really appealing. So they think, well, I have to hit the easy button and just take it, right? So many people right now, especially as the boomers continue to age, you know, they find themselves in the same position where, you know, they're working, they probably have a family, and now they're the custodian of this house that they have to sell, and they don't have a lot of time to do it in, okay? So the time-sensitive situations, sometimes people lose their job, right? And that might be very tempting to go to something like this. Ton of disrepair. We've seen that a lot where there's just so much deferred maintenance. I toured another home on Tuesday or Thursday, and the home looked, I mean, there was literally cobwebs I was walking to. It didn't look like it was touched in years. And the funny part is the people are in California, and they think the home is worth like $400,000. And when I did my valuation, they'll be lucky to get 2 for it. It's that different.
Was it one of those homes? Sorry to sidetrack here,
No,
but you gave me
it's
the slideshow the other day, and you showed these are actual homes we've sold where it was like, wow, it was crazy.
So we are actually in the process of recruiting. We're hiring for a lot of different positions. So I'll give out our off-air number in case you're interested or you know somebody that is. It's 813-377-2775, 813-377-2775. 2775. You can call or text that, and just text jobs to 813-377-2775. So what Adam's talking about is in our slideshow that we do when we do our presentation to new possible recruits. What I do is I come in and I tell them all the bad stuff, right? Like how real estate really is, what it's not HGTV. And I'm so transparent with them that I know it's going to scare some of them off, right?
That's the intention, though,
Yeah,
right?
better sooner than later.
That's right.
It's not a
And the
fairy tale.
reality is...
What if they're wearing a no-touch bracelet?
The reality of it is, most people are not going to make it past the first couple of years anyway in real estate if they make it that long. Right? So really what I want to do is be totally transparent with them and set them up to succeed. So going back to the homes in disrepair, you get things that are just, they're sitting there, right? So these companies like Offer Pad and an Open Door and Zillow now in the instant offer game, they want to make it really simple to get a valuation online, but there's a couple of little things behind that you should know. So for one, inaccurate valuations. Prime example, that home that I went to that was vacant for years, and I thought, where the heck did he get this number of $400,000? Well, he's in California, so let me just check Zillow, right? Because real estate agents never check Zillow, but I'm like, let me check Zillow and see what Zillow says, and maybe that's where he got the number. Oh yeah, should $435,000. So our CMA has always like a range. So I estimated between $165,000 and $200,000 for this home in an as-is condition, not making repairs, right? So the challenge in the first place is really just inaccurate valuation. So they've been lured for years with companies like Zillow and there's estimates saying, this is what it's worth. But we did a whole show how Spencer, the CEO of Zillow, sold his home for 40% less than his estimate. So it tells you how inaccurate these things are.
Now, do you think the estimates are usually on the high side, or have you ever seen any that are lower?
Sometimes, yeah, they could go both ways. The problem is it's a computer algorithm with a hodgepodge of data and numbers, and there's not a real person that can go look at it. So they've been talking for years about computers replacing real estate agents. Okay, maybe some functions, right? Like opening the door of a house or something like that. But they're never truly going to replace the functions of a real estate agent. Where somebody like me, my biggest value proposition are my negotiating skills. Those alone are worth every single penny that I'm paid.
The word Zestimate, is that something you put on a pizza?
Yeah, it sounds like it, right?
Sounds tasty.
Sounds like a fancy tomato sauce.
But you think about it, that's marketing anything, right? Like you create a need, people want on-demand valuation of their home.
But I mean, I can
package it up and you call it something.
I can, in their defense, I can kind of see where they're going with the instant offers, because like I work with some roofing companies and I help them set up systems where people can go to the roofer's website, get an entire estimate for their roof, and it doesn't have to bog that roofer down for 30 minutes to collect all this data. And it's pulling off of satellite imagery and LiDAR, and it just speeds up everything.
Well, I'm not saying it's a bad place to start.
No, it's a starting point, yeah.
What Zillow can't do, right? And I think if you go on there, it'll show you some comparable homes, right? Mm-hmm. So you walk through these, like if I pull these up on my computer side by side and I go, all right, this is your home with all the deferred maintenance, including the mold that's in the house. Ugh. And this is the homes that they're comparing your home to, and they look like something you would see on HGTV, right? And that's a lot of the big value proposition that we bring is we make the homes look like HGTV before they hit the market. And that's why, like, we don't even have time to promote our listings. Like, our lead time to get the home ready sometimes is a week, 2, 3, 4 weeks. And then by the time we hit the market, we have multiple offers already if we're not already under contract. So it's kind of, I feel like a little bit not transparent to market them on the air when I know they're already sold or they have a contract on them. So really that's the big thing is just the values not being off. Now the second thing that really makes it unfavorable for the seller is just the low offers, right? So I understand the convenience. I totally understand, but you have to remember this is a business for them and their number one goal is to make a profit on your home. It is. So with that being said, they're going to put a little bit of money back into it to make it saleable. But it's kind of like a trade-in car, right? If you can think about it like that at the dealer, the only difference is what's the difference in cost between a car and a house, right? Especially a used car that continuously goes down where houses go up in value.
It's usually just 1 0.
Yeah, at least 1 0.
1 0 at the end.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
So it's not just a couple of $100, which is what you could be looking at in terms of a car if you were trading it in. You're literally talking about thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars. And so the question becomes, are you willing to give up thousands or tens of thousands of dollars for the convenience of selling your home, right? And then you have people like me that there's times that I front load the cost to bring properties up to par. I'm going to charge you a little bit more, but it's nowhere near what these companies are going to charge you, and you're not going to get the lowest offer. You're going to get a fair, high market value offer. So the return on investment's huge. Now, the fees add up. And so the interesting thing about this one that I saw this week is, not only was there real estate commission involved, right? Because the listing agent couldn't sell the home, which there was really not a lot of skill there in getting it done, but that's beside the point. She also just pushed them to take the offer from Open Door. And so, you think about the average fees in the U.S., it's about 6% total to sell your home. You're going to pay 3% of that to a buyer's agent, which you should. So that was kind of strike number one. They were only paying the buyer's agent 2.5%. And I asked the seller, I said, did your agent take a 5% listing? And he said, yeah. I said, well, here's your challenge. You're paying a buyer's agent 2.5%, and you've got all this new construction around you where the builders are paying 3% plus closing costs for the buyer. So why would they pick your used home when they can go buy a new one at a similar price, get all their closing costs paid, and the agent's going to make more? Like, what incentive would they have to do that, right? So I'm going to be totally transparent. So I'm going to ramp it up today. We're going to have some fun.
We'll be right back after the break.
This is Tampa Home Talk. We'll be back.
And welcome back to Tampa Home Talk. This is Adam Talley with Talley Insurance, joined by Katrina Madewell and Leo Kane. And before we dive back in, I want to do our 2-minute tip of the week here for insurance. And you were talking about deferred maintenance and lowball offers, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, how does that affect?
Well, if you want to have a normal buyer, needs to have a loan and all that stuff, and Leo comes out and does an inspection, and there's so much deferred maintenance, you can't get insurance. So now you're talking about.
Why are you throwing me like a?
I'm not. I'm saying that you would want to hire. I would want to hire you to make sure that the home I'm buying doesn't have any deficiencies or anything like that. But you get that inspection, and the plumbing's bad, the AC doesn't work, this type of stuff. It's hard to close. Now you're talking cash buyer only. So definitely want to make sure that you know what you're doing and working with Katrina.
Actually, you have a policy kind of in between. Don't you do like a builder's risk policy?
You can do a builder's risk. Sometimes you got to piece a couple policies together to actually insure somebody properly with that. But yeah, we do have those options available.
Wasn't this house beautiful? I'm just showing it to you. This is the one that they thought was worth $400. And
oh goodness!
Yeah, there's some mold in there too. That deck's about ready to fall in.
Yeah.
Wouldn't suggest anybody walk on that.
Is a liability hazard.
Yeah, toilets are pretty clean, aren't they?
Oh, yuck with a side of yuck.
We see all
Is that in Scream-A-Geddon?
No, this is the one that they thought was worth $400, and I have to tell them they'll be lucky to get $165. And it was weird. Like the floor plan was so weird.
Could I shoot zombies in it?
If you buy it, you can do whatever you want.
Nice.
Hey, before we dive back into, that is. I'm going to pass on that one. But
I was going to send you a quote. I send you the information to insure it. It's a manufactured home, too. Is that okay?
I'm going to defer that to a different agent that might have a better product. That being said, before we dive back in...
Little Adam's always trying to be so professional.
I do want to say that we do have a winner for the Scream-A-Geddon tickets.
Oh, good.
And it's Barry Hudson. So, Barry, congratulations. Thank you for listening. And we hope that you get to shoot zombies and don't get the pants scared off you too bad.
And Barry, we will be reaching out. It will be next week, FYI, but we will call you next week. You do have to let them know when you want to come in advance. They're not going to be given at the box office, but we'll give you all those instructions off of the air after Tampa Home Talk. So, if you missed the earlier part of the show, we're talking all about 7 reasons why instant home purchase offers are not good for people selling homes, and how you're going to leave tens of thousands of dollars on the market. And Adam brought to my attention that I talk too fast when I get excited. So I'm going to try to slow down a little bit. Now, most markets don't actually need the service. So that's another great point, right? So the Tampa market's on fire as well. Out of the 4 major metropolitan areas in Florida, really, Tampa is the best place to live, in my opinion. Not just because I live here. If you just compare it to the other 3, by far, hands down, why wouldn't people pick a market like Tampa?
I don't know, you get the best of both worlds, and you don't have to, like, down in Miami, I feel like if you don't speak Spanish, it'd be hard to live down there.
Yeah, and their home prices are getting a lot like New York. Have you been down there in a while? It's crazy. So outside of that, like, it's, you know, it's really, there's no need for it in this market. Now, if you were in a different market that was a little bit harder to sell your home when you had to relocate or you lost your job or something, I can understand considering it. But what most people don't know is if you hire a high octane, high protein realtor like me, we have the resources, the tools, and the know-how to get it sold.
High protein?
High octane.
That's right.
High octane. I like that.
No, I like the high protein part.
And I had to put something in there for both of you. Anyway.
Highly caffeinated, too, sometimes.
Yeah, like today.
Yeah.
I don't even have that much coffee. I'm just up. All right, so number 5, reducing inventory and it raises prices. So as basically, we've been in this market for a long time. We're finally starting to creep up a little bit. We talk about the absorption rate. We're at about a 4-month supply now. We've been in a 2-month supply of homes for a long, long time, which means we have had an off-balance supply and demand, meaning more buyers, not enough sellers. So that's when sellers see multiple offers. You know, they go above the list price, all this sort of stuff. So why in the heck, in a market like this, we've been in a seller's market, would anybody consider an instant offer? I don't know. And I get that people might not want showings or people coming through their home. But here's the thing. Our prep time, we take a couple, 2-3 weeks, sometimes 4 weeks, depending on the seller, to get their home right, because we know it's going to be less than a week. In most cases, days of regular showings before all the showings stop because we have a contract.
Now, question for you. On these instant offers, is it mostly like FSBOs that are going for these instant offers, or do you see people with actual
You'd
listing
be surprised.
agents?
I lost a deal last year to someone. I had interviewed with them to see about selling their home. It was tenant occupied. They were a little bit concerned with some of the deferred maintenance because the tenant had been in there, and they had a mortgage payment. So honestly, they were afraid that they would have a mortgage payment that they couldn't pay, you know, when the tenant's gone and they still have a mortgage payment and the rent's not there to replace it. So I understand that concern. My only suggestion and thought would be talk to somebody like me before you actually go to OfferPad, because you're not going to get the same offer. You're going to leave so much money on the table
And spend more.
Yeah, and if you want an instant offer, I can give you one. You know, I'll make you an offer to buy it. We have investors, a list of cash investors that we can at least get a couple of investors competing against each other to give you a better offer than you're going to get from these iBuyer models out there. So our offer number is 813-377-2775. You can call or text us if you're thinking about this or you know someone is, and we need to be connected to give you great information and figure out where to start. The good thing is we're just the easy button, man. We do it for you. Like, we do so much stuff for you. Like, I'm going to meet you where you're at.
Text easy button to 813-377-2775. That's easy button.
No. That's Staples cease and desist order going to
I know, right? Thank you, Adam.
377-2775.
Hope that
Just
works.
text your cease and desist order.
Yeah. So, but are they even around? Like, they should be out of business soon, don't you think?
I don't
They're
know
hanging
about
on.
No,
by a thread.
they're still around.
Are they doing well?
Oh, their online division is.
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Good.
And they do direct deliveries. They're not
Oh, and there's always going to be a need for office people to go buy office stuff.
So here's the thing with the iBuyers. Not only do they don't always flip the houses. So people think, oh, they're just going to flip it. Sometimes they're actually going to rent it, right? So they buy this house, they actually rent it out, and it depends. And a lot of these, when a lot of these big hedge funds were pulling money out of the stock market and real estate prices were so low, they started looking at the cap rates and they thought, oh my gosh, real estate's going to rebound. Let's pull this money out of the market and start buying properties. And they've made a ton. They've made a killing. The ones that bought at the low end of the market and are now, selling some of those things. So the 7th thing I want to talk about is the negative effect of low offer. So if you can imagine 2 or 3 homes on your street, they take an instant offer. If this is a trend, right, or just say 2 or 3 said, yeah, I'm going to take the easy way out and just get one of these instant offers. Appraisers can't disregard that data, right? So now 2 or 3 of your neighbors that took the easy way to sell their home, let's say you might not thinking about selling now, but what if something happens and you have to sell, you need to sell, you want to sell? in a couple of months or 6 months from now, right? You never know what life will bring you. Now you have an appraiser that's not going to disregard that information. He's going to use those as market valuations.
And you also have a property appraiser, so it could work in your favor if you're not moving.
It could, but I think I'd rather take the higher valuation in the same property taxes versus a couple dollars off my tax bill, which is
Yeah.
what you're talking about, really.
So if you love your neighbors but need to move for a different reason, don't make them angry by taking this low offer. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, I mean, it's just the point that if it's one, appraisers can disregard that and say, oh, that's OfferPad, that's Open Door, that's Zillow.
Then
But
it's
if
an
you have
outlier.
2 or 3, they're not going to disregard those. They're going to consider that a trend in the neighborhood and figure, okay, maybe there's a reason why 2 or 3 neighbors have sold. You know,
Like
is there
a
something
sinkhole.
coming in we don't know about? Yeah. Is there something there we can't see?
or-
Better call Beryl.
Or a Scream-A-Geddon camp. Zombie. You're tired of hearing the gunshots from the zombies.
Yeah. So it might not be a problem right now, but it could be in the future. You just don't know where
Like
that's
we-
going to go.
Actually, they started with weekends and now they're open every day, so it's currently a problem
Oh, stop
for Dade
it.
City.
No. There's so much property out there. They're buried. So when you think about who benefits from the instant home purchase offers, really, it's just the person making the profit. When you hire an agent to sell a home, it's a mutually beneficial transaction, right? The agent gets a commission from selling the home, but their goal is also to make your home the best so that you can get the highest possible price.
It's like shopping local, right?
I mean, yeah, there could be some benefits with that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you get that local agent, the money's staying in the area. If you go to Hot Pads or something, that's going out to.
Let's go back to the car analogy, right?
Right.
Like you could walk outside to anyone's car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys don't have kids, so maybe not. But anyway, most people's car, when you walk out there, it's probably not going to be perfect, right? But if you were going to sell your home, you're probably going to spend some time on it. You're going to wash it. You're going to vacuum it. You're going to wax it. You're going to spend some prep time to get it ready. You're going to make sure it smells good. There's no funky odor in it. It doesn't smell like food, whatever, right? Yeah, BO, whatever. The point is, if you're going to do that for your car, why would you not do the same thing for your house? That's basically what we're talking about. So these instant home purchase offers are designed to benefit the iBuyer or the investor, under the convenience of the seller. That's pretty much what they're playing on. And so there's plenty of investors out there. We've got a whole list of cash investors that will still give you more than that. You'll still walk away with more money than going through one of these companies. So at the very least, get a CMA, get a market analysis from myself, which we will do for free. You can get an appraisal by one of our licensed appraisers. That's not free. So I'm going to give you some real numbers, okay?
Fire
So
away.
this house Wednesday.
I love numbers.
I did the
Math
numbers.
hour. I love it.
So,
Love
and we
numbers.
talked about the average commission being around 6%. 3% that's going to get the buyer's agent. 3% is going to be the listing agent, okay? So at a 309 offer, that was the OfferPad offer, 7.5% is their convenience fee. And they tack on more fees, by the way. And I'll tell you when I came in where the impasse was, okay? So the 7.5% fee is over $23,000, okay? Plus their agent fee, plus they charge you a cancellation fee, right? If you want to cancel, they want to charge you 1%. Do you know how much their escrow deposit was on over a $300,000 house?
I don't know.
5%.
$1,000.
Oh, that's it?
That's it. That's it. So not only are they, and then here's the thing. So they go in, it's 7.5% in fees. But then on top of that, they put a 15-day inspection time in there. So they're going to wait that whole time. And then they're going to drag that out as long as they can until you think you're going to move. And they're going to go, oh, and this, mind you, this is a brand new house, right? It was pretty new. The only thing I could see wrong in this, and I'm not an inspector, right? But Leo, you'd be hard pressed to find stuff in this home. The carpet needed to be stretched upstairs. That was it. Other than that, the carpet was still in decent shape.
And insurance doesn't care about carpets, so
Right.
you're good to go.
The point is, now they're trying to go back and renegotiate for repairs. And in this case, there wasn't much to find, but it was still $3,000 more they were trying to take off of the offer.
Wow.
Yeah, I hear this story all the time where they drag out the inspection
Oh, they
period
do.
to the very end and then hit you up with tens of thousands of dollars.
Yes,
And
it's part of their tactic.
yeah,
Yep.
here's your new price.
So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to go over the numbers when we come back right after the break, how much the seller would net on that offer and how much they would net by listing it with us. We'll be back in a minute.
Well, good morning. Welcome back to Tampa Home Talk. Leo Kane here. Very excited about our next hour. Very excited that Adam is breathing so positively.
I just held my breath for like 2 whole minutes.
I know, I saw it. You started turning blue and like...
I didn't even move my hands. I didn't want to say anything. I'll turn this
Let's
down.
get feedback from the listeners. If you can hear Adam breathing, 813-377-2775. Text the word breath. 813-377-2775.
You can text us other stuff than a word. We will see it.
Okay, so we're back on this instant offer. Like the fees are like outrageous.
Yeah.
I have
so if you're just joining us really quick, what we've been talking about this whole hour, 7 reasons why these instant home offers are not good for sellers.
So I work a lot with real estate investors who dabble in the wholesaling market, and none of the wholesalers want to deal with these peddlers, because what ends up happening is they wait till the end of the inspection period to hit you up with their change order.
That's how they do it.
And then if you back out of the deal because they basically sabotage their own deal, you still owe them a crap ton of money.
Yeah, 1%.
I can say crap ton on the radio, can I?
Yeah, 1% is what they want you to pay in a cancellation fee. Well, they give you a measly $1,000 escrow. That's not even 1% of the sales price. All right, so the example that I was talking about earlier we were using, and I think it's going to get ugly. We're probably going to get attorneys involved so we can get them out of that contract and probably give them a little negative PR, right? But at $309,000, which was their net offer, the seller's going to net only $285, and that was before the $3,000 changes that they're trying to get on asking for all new carpet.
Wait, how do you go from $285,000 to $300?
No, I'm sorry. What did I say? $309,000 was the offer amount. $285 was what I calculated their net to be after all the fees and expenses, and they were asking for another $3,000 off of that. So really, it was like $282 on a $309,000 purchase price.
Wow.
Yeah, and that doesn't include their payoff, so they still have their payoff from that as well. Now, on the same home, I was looking at a valuation of $350. So I gave them a range, $325, $350. I think we can hit the $350. Let's see how we do with that. At $350,000, they're going to net $317,000, and that's $32,000 more than the open door offer.
But it's not instant.
It's not instant, but what is a week of showings and an extra 30 days? If we can meet their deadline by November 15th, which is when they have to buy their new home that they're building, who cares?
I'd take that gamble.
Yeah, I would too.
All day, every day.
All day long.
All day, every day. It's my new saying.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you.
What I don't understand is the lack of the skill set, right, from the agent that had it listed before to basically just pretty much... Oh yeah, just go to Open Door, go to OfferPad. They'll buy your house.
Well,
They'll give you an offer.
Maybe that agent had ulterior motives. Maybe they needed that money real quick too.
Well, the seller said that her commission was being dropped to 0.5%. So that's the only number that I factored in there. But contractually, I'm sure they're still obligated to pay 5%, which is what they signed. And I said, how did you meet this agent? Like, out of curiosity, how did you connect with them? And they said, well, when we went through the builder's model, they introduced us to her. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's where the bar is? That's where the bar is.
Wow.
No wonder we do so well when we meet people in person. I'm just saying. All right, this is Tampa Home Talk. It's been a fun hour talking about 7 things you should know about these instant home purchase offers and why they're not good for sellers. You know, it's just, we don't talk about this enough. And I get that they're a business. I'm not trying to throw them under the bus. I'm not trying to bash them. I'm just trying to expose them. You know, because at a minimum, you're going to pay a 7.5% fee plus... Leo hit the nail on the head. That's exactly where they're making even more money. And they have other fees layered in there. They had other fees. I've seen these offers have as much as 12% in fees and cost in it. Convenience fees and other little things they have.
Do they do assignment fees too?
I mean, I'm sure they do. They layer. They have a one-page addendum written by their attorneys that's so one-sided favored, it's not funny.
And they don't budge off those, I'm sure.
We'll see. I'll let you know. You know, I think it's ridiculous, really, that the agent even, for one, suggested that, but 2, let them enter into a contract with $1,000 escrow. Like, that's ridiculous. I mean, it should be closer to 1%. And if you're paying cash, really, it should be 5% or more. But why would they want to do that? They got a 1% cancellation fee in there. Then their escrow will be up for grabs. The way I calculated it and the way I read the offer, they were past their inspection time, and they didn't think anybody was going to call them out on it. So I think we're going to win.
Oh, that's an easy one.
Well, they say, oh, we've got some other verbiage in our addendum that says that it's 10 days after the inspection time, and I didn't read it like that, and I don't think an attorney will read it like that either.
Call
We'll
Aaron.
see.
Yeah.
I don't think she does that kind of
No, she doesn't.
stuff.
I actually hooked
But I
Aaron
thought
up last night with a roofer who just picked up 3 multi-family apartment complexes.
Nice.
Irma
nice.
claim. An Irma claim.
Wow. I can't believe those things are still lingering.
Well, no, they're lingering because of all the denials and how slow they're moving. But yeah, so hopefully, Aaron, if you're listening, hopefully you've had a chance to chat with that roofing company and you've picked up the 3 buildings.
Yes.
So we can do the inspections. Woohoo!
Give us some feedback on the show. I'll take your feedback and your comments. I don't care if they're positive or negative. If you're listening to the show today, I want you to text me what you thought about the show. About me talking about the 7 reasons why these instant offers are not good for our home sellers. And you can get us at our off-air number at 813-377-2775. I want to know 100% what your thought is. If you have a different opinion, don't hesitate to send it. 813-377-2775. Did you think it was too basic or vanilla of a show? Let me know. 813-377-2775.
But those noises are not
That's me. That's me
breathing,
laughing
okay?
because my saying of all day, every day is like, I'm up for the challenge. Not me. I'm not all day, every day is out the window now. I'm going to cower in the corner over here. Cower in the corner.
So what thoughts do you guys have on this? Adam, you don't see this that much. Leo, you probably see it a little bit more with some of the investors that you work with.
We're very anti-instant offer. I mean, they actually give wholesalers bad names.
And it's not good for most people, really. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. When I look at the profit margins on these, like this is people's livelihood, right? Their home is probably their biggest asset. It's the biggest thing that they have. And and it's just sad because I'm listening to a seller of this home say, I had some other things that I wanted to do to the house, and now I can't do these things because I'm not netting enough money. And I said, well, did you tell your agent how much money you needed to net minimum? And they said, yeah. And guess where the number shook out to? Right about where they said they needed.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just sad.
Laziness on the side of the agent.
Yeah, it's laziness. And there were so many things that I saw wrong. Like, I could do another whole show, and I kind of printed it thinking in my crazy mind that I would actually have time to think about it.
Just kind of goes back to hiring the right agent too, right?
Yeah.
Interview your agents before you sign a contract.
Well, why don't we take that idea for a whole new show, put it in a box, a container.
Yeah.
Put that container on the side, and we can open up the container and talk about it next hour.
We're going to do that. And piggybacking on this show, next week or maybe in the future, if we get a guest that cancels last minute or something, we're going to talk about why your house is not selling. Yeah, let's do that.
Price is too high.
Well, that's one of them. It's not the only thing. All right, this is Tampa Home Talk. Thanks so much for listening to us this week. Thanks for sharing the show. Thanks for talking about us. And we're on a podcast. We're on video. We'll be back next hour. Remember, love where you live, and we're going to fix it. Welcome home.